Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I have a very exciting video for you because we are going to meet the 10 finalists for the self-published fantasy blog off round 7. Last weekend was the end of stage 1 where those 300 books are now reduced down to 10. Each of the judging teams have gone through their 30 books and have chosen their favourite book to put forward as their finalist. The 10 teams will be reading the remaining 9 books over the next 6 months and rating them, and at the end of those 6 months there will be one book as the victor. So the 10 books that have been put forward. The first book is from Fantasy Faction, and this is Burn Red Skies by Kirsten Espinosa Rosero. It starts with a rift that burns 1,000 scars into the sky. It makes the wind stop. It makes the stars go dark. It awakens an ancient beast, and with it a new rain of blood. It is the summoning, and at the heart of it is fire. When the summoner's army blazes through her village, Dove is forced into hiding. Torn from everything she knows, she begins training in the elements with only one goal in mind: to find her brother. She just needs to get past the summoner's army. But how can she slay a dragon that is already dead? The second finalist is from Fantasy Book Critic, and this is Norilska Groans by Michael R. Fletcher and Clayton W. Snyder. Norilska groans with the weight of her crimes. In a city where winter reigns amid the fires of industry and war, soot and snow conspire to conceal centuries of death and deception. Norilska groans, and the weight of a leaden sky threatens to crush her people. Katiushka Leonova, desperate to restore her family name, takes a job with Norilska's brutal police force. To support his family, Gendy Anatov finds bloody work with a local crime syndicate. Norilska groans with the weight of her dead, and as the bodies fall, the two discover a foul truth hidden beneath the layers of deception and violence. Come the thaw, what was buried will be revealed. The third finalist is from Lynn's Books and the Critiquing Chemist, and this is Hall of Bones by Tim Hardy. In the remote land of Lascar, the 7 ruling clans have vied with each other for power for over a century. The son of the Reevesburg clan chief, Hrothgar, has been groomed all his life for a role supporting his elder brother Yorick in leading their kingdom when their father's time finally comes to an end. However, the rulers of their greatest rivals, the Vorund clan, are in the grip of something older and far darker. They have been conquered by evil, a remnant from the time when gods warred with one another, and the world of Amaran collapsed into the fallen age. Everything is about to change. The fourth finalist is from Booknest, and this is A Mortal Blade by Christopher Mitchell. A city ruled by gods, a mortal champion, a misfit girl, and a disobedient dragon. Stolen from his home, Corthy Holdfast has arrived in the city of Eternal Siege as a new champion. He must fight alongside the Blades, whose lives are dedicated to the defence of the city against the horde of monstrous greenhides, or die at the hands of the gods who rule. Maddie Jackdaw, a young Blade, faces her last chance. Thrown out of every unit defending the city, either she takes on a new role, or she will be given to the Rats, a company of misfits given perilous tasks beyond the Great Walls. Her new role, if she takes it, will bring her face to face with her deepest fears, for beneath the walls, in a secret and hidden lair, lies a dragon, imprisoned and waiting. The fifth finalist is from the Weatherwax Report, and this is We Men of Ash and Shadow by H.L. Tinsley. Amidst the gas lamp shadows, former soldier turned mercenary John Vanguard hunts criminals at the behest of his corrupt employer, Captain Felix Sanquain. Shamed by his deserter past and seeking to make amends for his many misdeeds, a chance encounter with Taran Learsack, a skilled young would-be assassin, fallen from the graces of high society, leads Vanguard to become an unlikely mentor. Charged with hunting down the killer of 2 guards left washed up on the banks of the canal, the further Vanguard delves into the underbelly of the city, the more he finds himself entangled in a web of secrets and lies. A prominent aristocrat is missing. Crime lords, con men, and harlots run amok, and the city teeters on the brink of another revolution. With his already precarious reputation hanging by a thread, Vanguard must piece together how and why the last war came to pass, find a way to earn redemption for his mistakes, and come to terms with the past in a city where few survive and even fewer can be trusted. Finalist number 6 is from the Fantasy Hive, and this is Shadows of Ivory by T.L. Greylock and Bryce O'Connor. An undying king, a relic of rune-carved bronze and ivory flames. A war for powers only a god could fathom. In the centuries since rising up against a cruel, twisted dynasty, the 7 cities have done much to move past their horrid histories. The memories of ancient monarchs who've once fed on the life and blood of their own people. Those with a talent for magic are no longer hounded and slain. The lands beyond the city are safe, spared the atrocities the Eluskians once wrought upon them. For 300 years there have been peace. Then Eska de Caraval, head of the prestigious Forenzia Company, finds herself framed for murder. Soon hunted for the strange bronze disc she most certainly did not steal, Eska is forced to pit both wit and blade against all manner of adversaries who would eagerly see her dead. An assassin in the shadows, a monster in the deep, a rival looking to burn her alive. From sword and fang and flame, Eska must defend herself, struggling all the while to prove her innocence and unravel the mysteries of the dangerous artifact. But, unbeknown to her and her enemies, the cruelest of those tyrants of old is stirring in his grave. The 7th finalist is from Fantasy Inn, and this is Reign and Ruin by J.D. Evans. She is heir to a sultanate that once ruled over the world. He is an unwanted prince with the power to destroy. She is order and intellect, a woman fit to rule in a man's place. He is chaos and violence and will stop at nothing to protect his people. His magic answers hers with shadow for light. They need each other, but the cost of balance may be too high a price. Magic is dying, and the only way to save it is to enlist mages who wield the forbidden power of death. Mages cast out centuries ago in a brutal and bloody war. Now a new war is coming. Science and machines to replace magic and old religion. They must find a way to save their people from annihilation and balance the sacred wheel. But first they will have to balance their own forbidden passion. His peace for her tempest, his restlessness for her calm. The 8th finalist was from Fanfi Addict, and this is The Iron Crown by L.L. McRae. Fenn's first and only memory is finding himself in the middle of a forest, face to face with a dragon spirit mocking him, all knowledge gone apart from his own name. Lost and confused, his only hope for answers is Khalidra, a woman living on the edge of the world with her partner. Forced to return home when her father dies, Khalidra has put off facing her estranged mother for 7 years, and she begrudgingly helps Fenn, forging papers for him so he can avoid the Queen's inquisitors. But her mother is the least of her worries when they discover an ancient enemy is rising again. It should be impossible with the Iron Crown in power, and Fenn is terrified he might unwittingly be playing a part in the war's resurgence. Surrounded by vengeful spirits and powerful magic, Fenn's desperate attempt to find his way home might well alter the fate of Tassar and every power in it. The 9th finalist is mine, and this is Legacy of the Brightwash by Crystal Matter. Follow the law and you'll stay safe, but what if the law is wrong? Teshue's faith in the law is beginning to crack. 3 years ago he stood by when the authority condemned Jason to the brutality of the Rift for non-compliance. When Teshue's son refused to register as tainted, the laws had to be upheld. He'd never doubted his job as a regulation officer before, but 3 years of watching your son wither away can break down even the strongest convictions. Then a dead girl is washed up on the bank of the Brightwash, tattooed and mutilated. Where had she come from? Who would tattoo a child? Was it the same person who killed her? Why was he the only one who cared? Will Teshue be able to stand against everything he thought he believed in to get the answers he's looking for? And the 10th and final finalist is from Before We Go blog, and this is The Forever King by Ben Galley. Revenge loves company. Mithrid Fen wants nothing to do with magic. Magic is a curse word banned by the vast Arca Empire and punishable by death. Its purging has finally brought peace to war-torn Emaneska. Only a stubborn rebellion, led by the warlord outlaw king, raids and pillages the Empire's northern fringe. To Cliff Brat Mithrid, this is an age of tranquility and childhood games. That isn't until an illegal spellbook washes up on her shores, and she finds herself thrust into a war she never knew existed. Now hunted by demons and mages, she is dragged inexorably north to Skalusen, and its rebels fighting doggedly to preserve a memory of freedom. Mithrid holds no such ideals. She fights for revenge and nothing nobler. If spilling blood means helping the outlaw king, then so be it, even if it means all-out war. So that is a very exciting batch of finalists, and I've got to admit, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to start. They're all ready to go. I'm really looking forward to diving in. And just to very briefly explain how I'm going to do it, I will be reading all 9 books before putting out any content. So there's going to be a little while before you start seeing my ratings. So do any of those grab your attention? Which one are you looking forward to reading the most? I would love to know. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all soon.